I think delegation is something which really helps attaining a good work-life balance and
Right.
spending better family time, personal time at home and outside together. So usually that is something which I have been doing well. Also enabling the team members and nurturing them to be able to take on that responsibility, including the decision making. I think all leaders are needed to do that, and then only you team does well, you do well, and everyone keeps growing. If there is insecurity and if there is hoarding of information, that's where work-life balance takes a back seat. That is one thing which I keep doing. I try to keep my office timing sacrosanct, both at the beginning and at the end. So, of course, does not always hold good, but most of the time, I keep my exercise time, everything intact. So it's working well with some misses, hits and misses. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of CHRO Exchange podcast. Today we have someone who has over 25 years of HR leadership across telecom, manufacturing, VX. Mr. Sanjay Kumar is a transformation architect in the HR space. Currently, he is serving as SVP and Group CHRO at Apar Industries. He is a strategic force behind people initiatives in a legacy manufacturing giant that's rapidly modernizing. From leading organizational design and job evaluation exercises at Team Paytech, driving employee engagement across sentiments at AXL, his champion context-driven HR initiatives. His deep experiences across mergers and acquisitions, strategic workforce planning, and culture transformation across diverse industries. Welcome to the CHRO Exchange podcast, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, you've seen through it all, right? You've been in IT, you've been in telecom, you've been in BFSI. Now, moving back and over to your 25 years, or initial years when you had started, what were certain key lessons or certain initiatives, experience that shaped you and led you into human resources?
Yeah, that's a good question, Shonal. So I think experience in different industries gives different insights as well as different ways of doing the same thing. And it's been good to, cull out from each of those experiences and apply in different situations. So, for example, when I started also in manufacturing, and when I moved to the IT industry back then, so the IT industry was not so well structured as it is today. So, but the processes and the systems which were there in manufacturing in HR, they were really foolproof. And so when I moved into IT, I could, borrow from that, and I was able to do well for myself as well as for, the company because of that.
Right.
So designing processes, institutionalizing them, enforcing it. So I think that was a big help there. Secondly, things like, in HR, a policy requirement in the IT industry, when the employee was suddenly there was a new customer, a new client, and the employee was just moving into a new country. So the expectation was to come up with a policy in an hour's time. Whereas in the manufacturing world, it would take a few days in those years. So I think those have been the speed, agility was far more in the service industry, IT industry, but the perfection bit was better in the manufacturing setup because of the evolution of time that they got. But today, I think all the industries are, firing from all four cylinders. So it's good to still, borrow from one to the other.
Right, right, sir. So, sir, a follow-up to this is that since your extensive career, were there certain daunting human resource opportunities and challenges, maybe a mergers and acquisition or a significant career shift as you've done it through all the industries? Were there certain anecdotes that you could share with us?
Sure. So one of the interesting things which happened was I used to work for a company, HCL Pero Systems, which became it was acquired by Dell Technologies later.
Right.
However, while I was there, I was heading HR operations, and that is the experience I was sharing with you, Shonan. What happened is there was an internal opportunity for a startup with a company in UK, which we were coming up.
Right.
So I was selected for that. It was a great opportunity. But from having a large team to becoming an individual contributor, all unto yourself, you are the head as well as the tail of HR.
Right.
So, and the company was started by two people, the CEO and myself. The CEO was pulled out from the business development team, and second was myself.
They co-founded it.
Yeah, co-founded. And I would not say the founders, of course, the bigger HCL groups in those years we didn't have. Today, I think it's a much more exciting age in that sense. But yeah, we co-founded it in the sense, yeah, you're right, in the sense that we formed it.
Absolutely.
And the company was started by identifying, selecting 66 engineers and sending them to a project in UK, project site, to a client site. And that's how the company started. So I think the speed at which it was done, the lack of resources which were there. So I got to handle legal, even accounting to some extent, which I had to learn. So I was able to pick up all these skills. But I think I'm thankful, and all my colleagues later who have worked with me and I have worked with them have become highly entrepreneurial after that.
Right. So it's the grit that changed it all and
Absolutely.
learned it, like all of it, right? So, sir, like coming to Apar Industries is a diverse business portfolio. So, how is your leadership strategy or certain initiatives segregated to certain units, or how do you amplify the need to bring it all together? How are you managing your portfolio's diverse needs?
Right. So our business is run like a confederation of industries, as you rightly mentioned. Now, one thing is that, Sonal, we try to give the CEOs of the various businesses their independence, and similarly for other function heads and the business heads.
Right.
So, for example, the HR of each of the companies, it is headed by one HR head who reports into the CEO or the business head, and functionally only to me. So that's how it is run. However, there are certain programs which are run by the corporate. For example, our behavioral training program, behavioral interventions, that is done from the corporate, and it is done uniformly for all. For example, when we do the hypo identification and nurturing program, so that we do for all the businesses. And that's where all the other teams also enjoy themselves, get to learn new things. So, for example, we identify there is a policy, the managers themselves identify the high potential employees in their teams. There is an assessment center we take them through. There is an IDP which is formed. So this is done across, and there is a consistency for all businesses. Similarly, when we go in for, the Great Place to Work survey and the report which we use for our action planning, for that we do it across the company. So it is at three levels: company-wide level, Apar-wide, the entire Apar world. Second is at the business unit-wise. And thirdly, we have the manager scorecards, which is also looked at.
Right.
So this is how we ensure, where there is a decentralization and where there is a central focus, but involving local people to do it.
Right, right. So taking a step back here and understanding that when you're hiring or nurturing certain talents within your industry, and so as you must have heard, retention is a problem everywhere, right? For every industry, retention has been a key and an opportunity and a challenge. So, sir, what are certain policies, governance initiatives that you might have in place or are planning to do so, or something that has been implemented and has been a success that could be a guiding light for all individuals and employees out there and companies out there?
Right. So, Shonal, one I must say very proudly, in Apar, the attrition at mid and senior levels is near zero.
Wow.
So that's something which is rare about us.
Yeah.
And how it has been done, and it's not only I who have done it, it's been there since much earlier as well. One piece is the culture of the company, wherein the values workshop is always conducted. The four corporate values that is imbibed
Right.
in the minds of all the employees, and there is zero tolerance for anything against it. So that is one, the respect for people. That is the how we, besides the values, what are the, there is we are a highly entrepreneurial company. At the same time, we like to compete with the outside people and not within. So we have a lot of camaraderie, very nice collaboration. I think that is something which is unique to our company. There is empowerment. and there is a certain degree of independence everyone enjoys. So I think those are the things which help. Now, in retention, other than culture, there I think a lot of focus is on learning. So in any employee, including me, knows that she or he is learning, one tends to be staying back,
Right.
learning and growing. So that is one experience we ensure we give to the employees. So we have an education assistance program which is really very supportive, and the financial assistance is truly substantial. So that's one. Secondly, we have many programs. It's not only the training program from the PMS, of course, that's important, which all the employees have access to. Besides that, for example, we have a program at different levels we are doing. So, of all the direct reports of all the HODs in the company. So, we curated a course with Willinkers,
Right.
and we ensured that all the practitioners were teaching it. So, all of them went through that course for about 8 months,
Right.
and they really enjoyed themselves. Every 15 days there would be a class. So, and they really changed. I mean, even their seniors, peers, as well as their direct report, they all vouch for it that they have changed drastically after that. Similarly, we have, of course, executive coaching at different levels. I am myself undergoing a coaching, and it's a very good intervention, I would say. All CXOs and mid-level, we are trying to encourage them to undergo some coaching, because perfection is something which you keep working on at all times. There is no
Right.
end to that. Yes. So that's what we believe in. Then there is mentoring to make it more pervasive. What we have done is, and more democratic. So we have online mentoring. We have engaged with a company called Intercell and provided access to employees with mentors across the industry, across levels. So that's also really helping. So these are some of the initiatives. I think we do the PMS also very well, because the first question, if you see Gallup, its first question is, do I know what is expected of me at work?
Right.
So role clarity, and secondly, equipping the person with the wherewithal to be able to perform the job. So
Absolutely.
it begins, those things really impact employee engagement. We take employee engagement very seriously. PMS ensures that everybody is clear on the expectation, everybody is having a review well on time, there is a feedback mechanism, and then once we get our report, employee engagement report, we work on a action planning,
Right.
which is at 3 levels, as I mentioned, and we do it really religiously, and we have seen results. Our scores have really jumped up, and I'm sure as we speak, in a very not a very long time, we will be among the top 100 companies in India to work for, as
Absolutely.
per the Great Place to Work, organization.
Yes. So how now coming back to the sustainability initiatives that all companies are launching, and it's
Right.
the uh, go-to initiatives everywhere. So how is human resource individually in Apar Industries contributing to the sustainability initiatives? Are there any programs you have, or some newfound policies you have in place for the same?
Yeah. So we are doing ESG very seriously, and there is a person outside of HR who is at a president level, who is really running this, and we have formed a team with him, who are from all the different functions,
Right.
and they are, and particularly in the plants also, and all offices. So they are the ESG champions. So this is how they're working together and taking forward a lot of things together. On environment, I think they're doing pretty well. We have the solar program everywhere across location. The certain percentage of the energy we are consuming is solar. Water regeneration program, that's a very serious one with us. And even on social as well as governance, we have various other programs. I think we are doing pretty well, and we've got very high ratings, and EcoVadis and all the other certification companies in ESG, they are they have certified us and given us a high grade. And of course, it's a journey, so we are learning
Absolutely.
as we go ahead.
Yes. So let's come to some of the hot topics that are there in the industry. So AI. AI is considered either a boon or a bane for certain industries. How is it like for manufacturing in particular? And at Apar Industries, are you leveraging AI in certain ways? And is it increasing efficiency? Like, how is it, if you could let us know?
AI today is a reality and it is certainly a boon. It's not a bane. It's just how you look at it. So that is how people said about science when I was a child, when we used to study in school. Science, a boon or a bane.
Yeah, internet.
And it's how you use the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, particularly IT. So when it came, there was strike in the banks on computerization, against computerization. But look at how many jobs have been created in India after the IT industry has been there.
Absolutely.
So similarly, it is for AI. I think AI really helps us, and it's truly come of age after this the generative AI, open AI when it came up, and now there are other variants as well with chat GPT and others. So it's so much easier, and it is certainly eliminating the first level, the lowest level of work. I think there is no harm in it also. It's good because human beings are getting a higher level of job of thinking, and the mundane stuff, routine, repetitive stuff will go out. In
Absolutely.
Apar, in various enabling functions, the first level of work largely is being done by AI, I would say. When I say AI, that place is chat GPT only. And then we have Industry 4.0, which is working very well for us in the plant. I would not say that we have completed it, but Industry 4.0 is working very well for us in terms more of Internet of Things. That's how it is, and the kind of productivity and also its interaction with other Six Sigma and other programs. So business excellence programs, process excellence programs, Kaizen. So and Industry 4.0. I think that's where it is also working well for AI now. As far as dashboards are concerned, they are much better. Of
Right.
course, for us, it's a journey which is being undergone. I will not make tall claims that we've really done what could have been done by AI and what best has been done. There may be other companies who are doing better. But at the same time, we have dedicated teams today on AI and senior level team members
Right.
and specialists who are working on it, and there are different projects. So the fruition will come.
Right, right. So, taking a step back here, would love to venture into your childhood memories and certain things that have shaped you into your leader you've become now. So, there's certain mentors you look up to, or certain experiences that have shaped you. I audience would love to hear some.
Sure. I was brought up in boarding schools from the age of 5. And I think that has been a very different experience than a lot of people who have really had a protected childhood. So I had a very wonderful childhood at home also, but that was for a very short while during the vacations. But I think being in the boarding school, it makes you become self-reliant much faster. It truly sharpens your survival instinct, and it also teaches adjustment much more when your roommates are changing regularly as a child, when your hostels are changing, and even in there's no private space, so to say. Every space is shared. There is some light on you at all times. So I think that makes you become a little more careful, become smarter because of lack of choice, maybe. So I think that really helped me to be more independent, also independent minded. At the same time, my collaboration certainly, it's a gift of my boarding school childhood because that continued in the hostels also. So one of the things is group games, for example. When you're playing a solo game, or particularly say a game of football or a hockey when you're playing, which is very dynamic. So that's where you can't be alone winning the game. You know that you have to collaborate and win together. So I think that really teaches a lot, and the sportsman spirit which comes with it. Though there are a lot of leadership lessons out there to learn from those experiences. And then of course there have been wonderful teachers, there have been professors, there have been great industry mentors, reporting managers. If I name a few, I would leave out so many, so I think it would be injustice.
So, sir, what are some of your favorite methods for staying informed and up to date? And how do you maintain that amidst your extensive and difficult job and day-to-day work?
Yeah, I think the simplest way and easiest way is to read the newspaper thoroughly. So I read the Economic Times. I mean, not that I'm advertising for it, but some business daily. I think that is quite, it is sufficient to large extent. And then, of course, I do go to various forums of CHROs, CEOs, CFOs, and a mix of them, different CXOs, as well as different, specialized HR forums as well, and business forums. So these are the two major sources. I do track the journals and some the HBR is something which I read. At the same time, it gets missed also sometimes, and one does read some books. I think so. That's important regularly to update. So but if one can do nothing, I think even the Economic Times is good enough because it is a mix of everything. So it's quite okay. Is also the benchmarking of the industry best practice that we keep doing. So it's not only me, our entire team, we keep learning from that.
So, sir, I was asking if, if you believe in the concepts of work-life harmony or work-life integration is a new word that has come up. And what are your thoughts on the same?
Yeah, so I think that's a good word, integration, because it was earlier work-life balance appeared to be as if these are two compartmentalized, boxes. I think both are important, but I enjoy my work a lot. So work itself is enjoyment and balance also for me. I think that would be people of my generation. That's how India grew. I think the Indian economy, and maybe there though because lack of choices were also there, but I really enjoy my work. So that's not a problem. I look forward to, thank God it's Monday, certainly. And I also say, thank God it's Friday. I'm not saying. I think delegation is something which really helps in attaining a good work life balance and
Right.
spending better family time, personal time at home and outside together. So usually that is something which I have been doing well, and also enabling the team members and nurturing them to be able to take on that responsibility, including the decision making. I think all leaders are needed to do that, and then only the team does well, you do well, and everyone keeps growing. If there is insecurity and if there is hoarding of information, that's where work-life balance takes a back seat.
Right.
I think that is one thing which I keep doing. I try to keep my office timing sacrosanct,
Mhm.
uh, both at the beginning at the end. So, of course, that not always holds good, but does not always hold good. But most of the time, this is I keep my exercise time, everything intact. So it's working well with some misses, hits and misses. Yeah.
So, sir, at Apar Industries, while at Masters Union, our students are well equipped to take on all challenges, and they have the entrepreneurial grit as they are part of the venture initiation program. What are certain X factors that you look for while you're looking for talent or hiring someone? And what are certain opportunities or certain learning lessons that students can imbibe right away as they are in the B school journey, and professionals who are working as well right now?
So I think one of the four core values, all the four core values are very important for us. They are simple but very potent behavior expectations. One is accountability, which is hygiene.
Right.
The second one is, of course, innovation. That's what is informs our DNA of our company at Apar Industries. Thirdly, also, I would say that what is very important is the entrepreneurial drive and leadership. So, entrepreneurial drive is something one really expects from students passing out of B schools, bubbling with ideas which are not formed already, but ideas which will form differently in different situations. A very agile thinking mind, fast, proactive mind, a mind which is seeking opportunities and not just responding or reacting to the
Right.
opportunities. So that is something which every organization, I would say for that matter, But in our case, because we are highly entrepreneurial and we empower our employees, we encourage them to experiment, and we do overlook a few failures if the magnitude of course, the financial loss is not substantial, and if the intent, more important, the intention has been right. So this is something which we really want, really people who want to experiment, who want to keep trying, and also lifelong learners for people who are already working.
Right.
So that's one thing we at Apar, our CMD, Mr. Kushal Desai, I think he's really practices it, and I borrowed this term from him. Similarly, our managing director also, Mr. Chaitanya Desai, and rest of the entire Apar leadership team, we live by this mantra that we nobody is perfect, and the more we learn, the more we evolve, the more we enjoy life. So, and in the post VUCA world, that has become so much more of an essential prerequisite today. You know, today the students and the employees, all of us, in the post tariff war, which is there now, the post tariff and non tariff barriers which have come up, the geopolitical scenario which is there, and the neighborhood situation which has been there in India and Pakistan, as well as different other pockets near the Red Sea problem, be it the Ukraine-Russia problem. So these are some things nobody has control over.
Right.
So they lead to such, SCM challenges. They lead to other challenges. Now, what we are expected to do, and particularly I would say students can really learn to do that, and also practicing employees, is scenario building all the time. A different tariff has come, so now there is bilateral tariffs are there. There are no trade pacts which are like a multilateral.
Right.
So how to, and they keep changing also. So when the tariff is X, what scenarios are you building? How you can leverage? What the other countries? How we are better off than some, worse off than some? How quickly we can, get different logistic partners. We can select the items. So
Right.
what pricing, there is a very fluid, everything is in a state of flux. So people who are able to build scenarios very quickly, all the time being doing so, make quick, correct and fast decisions. Correct decisions are based on some, not only hunches, but data. I think that is something which is very important. That skill and the mindset is very important.
Agility is
Agility is like hyper agility. And while a word of caution, yes, that making decisions quick and correct and fast, yes. But when the situation is highly uncertain, one should never be in a haste to make a decision also. So that is a new thing. It was always there. People had to think on their feet, standing on their feet. But today it's a post-VUCA world, post-pandemic, post-tariff war world. So it's a very different, exciting world. It opens up so many opportunities. If you really want to leverage and grow with them, or you become daunted, you become intimidated, and you take a back seat. The choice is yours.
absolutely, sir. So, as we near our end of the podcast, any few words you'd like to give to the booming entrepreneurs, individuals, students out there who are listening to our podcast?
Right. I would say one thing very important is, whereas the data analytics, uh, AI, all that is extremely important, getting better. We please be extremely good at it. At the same time, interpersonal relations is something, social life, social ability to get along with people, make friends quickly, not becoming emotional or lonely suddenly, or feeling let down, definitely staying away from anxiety. These are some of the things for the new younger generation, Gen Z particularly, a part of it for millennials also. I think this is something which is very important. Keep picking up skills, be emotionally resilient. Uh, this opportunity, at least India has never witnessed. They are unprecedented. And before India becomes old, India has to become rich. It has to become a developed country by 2047.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Thank you.